Welcome to the Political Matrix News. Politics, people, local, regional, national news. Political Matrix News keeps you informed. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the Political Matrix. It's the Political Matrix blogcast for another fun-filled and exciting segment. We're doing this on Tuesday the 16th. Got my taxes filed at 3:45 yesterday afternoon. I hope you got a return. I hope you got money coming back. I'm going to have to adjust things so I only get a little bit of money back and put the rest of it in my pocket during the year. Although it'll be a nice check coming from Uncle Sam until they figure out that I still owe him some more money. But I hope your troubles were few. Greg Fink coming in from Gainesville, Scott Miller out of Pensacola, and on the beach where he delightfully consults politicians all over the place. That would be Jonathan Cole, and you can find him in Navarre. Why is Navarre best known? Was it Jaws 2 or Jaws 3 was shot there? Jaws 2. Jonathan was there. He was one of the little kids in the crowd, and it was a very cold day when they were shooting on the beach. Jonathan, just say yes. No one will know the difference. You could pretend to be a politician, you know? It's really okay.
It's more of an age difference, so it's, yeah.
All righty.
That was in 8th grade, so.
Well, then that's still qualified
You're
to
one
be
of the kids.
A kid, yeah. I mean,
I wasn't living here then, so it's.
You're killing the whole story.
We have a good story.
Sorry about that. All right,
No,
this story caught my eye. New report reveals Matt Gaetz is an even bigger creep than you thought. This is out of the New Republic, although I'm thinking the Atlantic actually got the story. It came out about a week ago, and it said Matt Gaetz is winning, but we don't know what he's after. And it was a very in-depth story. They talked to people from school who were honest. They said, we didn't like him then. He was a creep then. And it has moved forward. He has some very nasty habits on the floor, not the floor of in Tallahassee, and now in Washington. He's going around and showing guys, other members of the Congress of the United States, nude pictures of women that he brags about after scoring
videos
with them, and videos as well. He, as he said, he walks around the cloakroom showing porno of him and his latest girlfriend. And apparently he was involved in a points game in Tallahassee with other legislators who got a point for sleeping with a lobbyist, 3 points for sleeping with another legislator, 6 for a married fellow legislator. And that's, I wonder what they got for sleeping with people in the Senate. I have no idea. But of course, it goes on to say he got into politics thanks to the wealth and political career of his dad, Don Gaetz, who was president of the Florida Senate. You know, he sold a hospice company, got $500 million, and spent a lot of money funding development projects in the Panhandle. Like what? Huh? But anyway, one lobbyist told the reporter that the Northwest Florida Panhandle is owned by the Gaetzes. Really?
Right.
And Matt was elected to the State House when his dad was Senate. This is nothing new to us. And, you know, he would walk into the meetings in his dad's office, put his feet up on the table. They were derisive. I don't think derisive. I think exactly specifically referred to as Daddy Gaetz and Baby Gaetz. So even Kevin McCarthy says, the former Speaker of the House says he got ousted because he wanted to investigate Matt Gaetz on the idea of Matt sleeping, or I don't think there was much sleeping involved, go figure, a 17-year-old girl, plus drug use, plus other corruption. Gentlemen, I don't even know where to begin on this to unwrap it, but have at it. What do you think? Don't everybody start at once. Scott, you claim direct knowledge of all of this, and you don't doubt any of it, do you?
No. I just get around a lot. I know a lot of the players, and you know, I know a lot of people that have worked with those people for years. And I, so do I have direct evidence that any of this stuff is true? No, but I've got enough people that I respect that do have first person knowledge that have told me stories to where I believe them. And honestly, it's one of those things where you kind of take a look, you hear a story and you take a look at the actions of the person that's being talked about, and you say, yeah, that's believable. Well, not only is it believable, but it's but it's backed up by past behavior. You know, my I have a family member a late family member who told me a story about getting a call in the middle of the night to go, to go pick Matt up because he'd run into a building and needed to sober up. Yeah, and this family member went over and picked him up and brought him back the next day, and they made out the police, whatever police report was necessary to the cop is the story that I got. But good luck finding that stuff. I've researched extensively trying to find police reports on that, and they are nowhere to be found.
Okay, Greg Fink, your turn. What are you going along with what Scott says, or with what the report says in the Independent or the Atlantic? You probably have more knowledge, don't you?
Oh, well, more or less. I mean, most of the information that we have is, I mean, just a lot of research about his personal behavior, his drinking behavior, his drug abuse behavior, and everything else back in college. I mean, we know people who were in college with him who employed him, and when he was in college at the Republican Party of Florida, where he had been fired a few different times. And I mean, he was coming to work late, coming to work drunk, coming to work inebriated, and everything else allegedly to what they were saying. I mean, once again, I mean, without us being there first person, but also I did do a lot of driving for his dad and heard a lot of conversations between his father and Matt Gaetz whenever his dad was running for state senate back in 2006. And so I heard a lot of speakerphone conversations that were done between the two of them about arguing about their lifestyle and about his lifestyle and about how he needed to get his act together and everything else in school. And his father was very disappointed with a lot of the decisions that he was making when he was in college. That created a lot of the behavior that led to him being a immoral reprobate, as basically everybody's calling him, and as a state rep and as a congressman. I mean, there's no surprise here. I mean, he is exactly the way he was raised, or he raised himself, rather. I mean, if you really have a lot of time to dig into his whole story, I mean, the real story is that his mom became disabled when she had him at childbirth. That's where they got their original money, was that they sued the hospital for medical malpractice, and everything else, whenever she gave birth to him. And so, I mean,
I think it was to his sister, but yeah.
Either one. But I think the whole idea is that he grew up without a mom really taking care of him because she's disabled. And me, myself, I had a mom who's disabled growing up and everything. I know how hard and tough it is. And so, I mean, his father was always working and doing everything, to make all the money. And so was more or less raising himself. And
all right, Jonathan, your turn.
It's a mess.
No, Greg, Jonathan needs his turn. Jonathan, with all of this, in every definition of the word, he is a soft target. It would be so easy to go in and just disassemble the man, draw and quarter him, and make him so unappealing to voters. Why haven't the Democrats of Florida gone after Matt Gaetz? Seriously.
Well, it's not so much the Democrats of Florida, but they've built such a disinformation network here in Florida District 1 that people still think he walks on water. We were talking to people 2 years ago that weren't even aware of these allegations. They just think Matt's doing a great job. He's helping the military. He's bringing, doing this for the district. And, and it's like every election rolls around, he gives a little lick and a promise, but he knows he's going to win because it's the Gaetz do rule the panhandle to an extent.
That sucks.
I mean, even with the disinformation campaign, the reality of what Jonathan just said, I mean, people know that the military has been shrinking and we've been losing jobs. I mean,
he's lost.
Everything's out there in the open.
He's lost 4 squadrons to other counties. And the cardinal rule used to be in Florida, starting with Bob Sykes, who brought him here. You don't lose military presence. You get more if you can. And but he let it get away because he was too busy on photo ops in Arizona or somewhere else, or that's the other thing. He's never in this district. I mean,
but he hasn't.
But
and by the way,
he's still doing a great job.
We got to wrap it up because we're short on time.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Some people have told me, gee, I thought I was voting for Don Gaetz to run for Congress. And last number I had working was said 2 squadrons, 4 squadrons, no doubt about it. I mean, I think 1 squadron moved back to Tyndall. 2 others are gone forever. While he was on the House Armed Services Committee, directly affecting that, all he had to do was go to that, tell that Air Force general, hey, General, we want you to leave the 533rd and the 132nd right there where they belong at Eglin. He didn't do that. Couldn't get off his butt. Nobody can find a single federal project that Matt Gaetz has brought to the 1st District of Florida. They haven't bought what's the toll bridge that everybody hates in Santa Rosa County going over to the beach. And there we go. Garcon Bridge should have been bought by federal highway funds years and years ago and said, let it go. They haven't done that. It infuriates me. Oh, I know what it was. You ready for this? The 1st District of Florida has exactly 1 TV station. It has 2 daily newspapers and has 3 radio stations that actually talk about local stuff or local politics. And it's not always a Donald Trump, let me kiss his ass, and Biden is a horrible person radio talk, but actually do, because I used to be one of those talk show hosts. And that's
easy to control.
He has it. He's the easiest member of Congress to control a very small group of people. And that's why he gets such a free ride. We have to wrap it up. We're running out of time. There's only so much they do allow on this. I'm Rob Milford. This is the Political Matrix Blogcast. Thank you to Jonathan Cole. Thank you to Greg Fink and even Scott Miller, who next week will find a better baseball hat to wear. Go vote early and often.